Welcome to Dark Cinema. Today we work with the 71st spirit of the Ars Goetia, Dantalion, a great and mighty duke who commands 36 legions of spirits. His power is singular in the Goetia. He knows the thoughts of all persons, and he can change them. The Goetia describes his appearance in precise terms. He appears in the form of a man with many countenances, all men's and all women's faces. He carries a book in his right hand. This form is not arbitrary. The many faces represent his access to every human mind. The book represents the knowledge he carries, all arts and sciences, and the secret thoughts of every person who has ever lived. What makes Dantalion exceptional among the 72 spirits is his domain. Most Goetia spirits offer external power, wealth, military command, the control of elements. Dantalion offers something far more intimate. He teaches the operator what any person is truly thinking. He can project the vision of any person, showing their likeness regardless of where they are, and he can alter the thoughts and will of others. The grimoire states his powers plainly. He teaches all arts and sciences. He declares the secret counsel of anyone, meaning he reveals what a person intends but has not spoken, and he can change the mind and will of any person. Agrippa places Dantalion under the governance of Venus, the planet of attraction, persuasion, and the movement of human desire. This correspondence is not incidental. Venus governs how people feel toward one another, which is precisely the domain Dantalion operates in. Colin de Plancy's Dictionnaire. Infernal confirms Dantalion's reputation as the spirit of hidden knowledge, specifically the knowledge locked inside other human beings. Where other spirits reveal what is hidden in the earth or the heavens, Dantalion reveals what is hidden in the mind. This makes him one of the most sought-after spirits in the entire Goetia for operators working in situations involving other people. Before calling Dantalion, you must construct the Circle of Solomon, 9 feet in diameter, inscribed on the floor. At the 4 quarters, the divine names, Tetragrammaton to the east, Adonai to the west, Agla to the north, Sabaoth to the south. These are not symbols, they are active names of divine authority that form an impenetrable boundary. You work inside the circle at all times, no exceptions. Between the inner and outer rings, inscribe the names of the archangels and the hexagram seals. The hexagram of Solomon is your secondary protection. Where the circle prevents entry, the hexagram commands obedience. For a spirit of Dantalion's subtlety, one whose entire domain is the manipulation of thought, these protections are not ceremonial, they are functional. A spirit that can alter thoughts must be met with clear boundaries. Outside the circle, to the east, place the triangle of art. The 3 sides bear the names Michael, Anaphexeton, and Prime Umaton. The spirit manifests within the inner circle of the triangle. Dantalion's seal is placed at the center of this inner circle before the conjuration begins. The seal of Dantalion is drawn on virgin parchment with black ink. Work slowly. Each line of the seal is a point of contact with Dantalion's intelligence. The act of drawing it while holding his name and nature in your mind is itself the beginning of the link. Once complete, place the seal in the center of the triangle of art. Some operators consecrate the parchment before drawing, a brief prayer or statement of intention spoken over the blank material. Others anoint the completed seal with oil associated with Venus, rose oil, myrtle, or any sweet-scented oil aligned with the planet of attraction and persuasion. The 5 instruments of the art must be present. The magic ring of Solomon on the middle finger of the right hand. The pentagram of Solomon worn as a layman over the chest. The triangle of art with the seal in position, candles in green or copper tones, the colors of Venus according to Agrippa. And the brazen vessel present as a last resort. For suffumigation, the Picatrix prescribes Venusian incense, rose petals, sandalwood, myrtle, or musk. These create the atmospheric conditions favorable to Dantalion's manifestation. The quality of the incense matters less than the sincerity and consistency of the preparation. But Venusian scents, sweet, warm, attractive, align with the planetary force governing this spirit. Your offering should correspond to what you are asking. If you seek knowledge of another person's thoughts, offer something that represents openness, an open book, an unsealed letter, a mirror. If you seek to change someone's disposition toward you, offer something that represents connection, a personal item, a written name, wine shared between two vessels. The Book of Abramelin teaches that clarity of will is the governing variable. Before you speak the conjuration, write down exactly what you want from Dantalion. Whose thoughts do you want revealed? What specific change in disposition are you seeking? Dantalion operates with precision. A vague request to understand what people think about you will produce vague impressions. A specific request, the thoughts of a named person regarding a named situation, produces specific results. You are now ready for the first conjuration. Speak it aloud, clearly, with conviction, facing the triangle. I do invocate and conjure thee, O Spirit, Dantalion. And being with power armed from the Supreme Majesty, I do strongly command thee by Berlinensis, Baldachiensis, Paumakia, and Apologiae Sedes, by the most powerful princes, genii, and ministers of the Tartarian abode, and by the chief prince of the seat of Apologia in the 9th Legion, I do invoke thee, and by invoking, conjure thee. And being armed with power from the Supreme Majesty, I do strongly command thee, O Spirit Dantalion, that thou dost forthwith appear unto me here before this circle in a fair and comely shape, without any deformity or tortuosity. Speak with me in a voice intelligible to my understanding, and fulfill my desires to the end in all things that I shall make request of thee. Wherefore come thou, fulfill the commands of him who holds the authority of the Most High. In the name of Tetragrammaton, Adonai, Agla, and Sabaoth, appear, O Dantalion, appear. Dantalion's communication style is distinctive among Goetia spirits. Because his domain is thought itself, his responses often arrive not as external impressions, but as sudden knowledge, information that appears in your mind as though you always knew it. A name surfaces. A face becomes clear. An understanding of someone's true motivation crystallizes without explanation. Francis Barrett warns in the Magus that spirits whose domain involves thought are the most subtle to work with. You may not recognize Dantalion's answers as separate from your own thinking. This is why the journal is essential. Write everything that arises during the working, every thought, every impression, every face that appears in your mind. Sort through it afterward. The pattern of what came from outside will become clear upon review. When the exchange is complete, speak the license to depart. O thou Spirit Dantalion, because thou hast diligently answered unto my demands, and hast been very ready and willing to come at my call, I do hereby license thee to depart unto thy proper place, without causing harm or danger unto man or beast. Depart then, I say, and be thou very ready to come at my call, being duly exercised and conjured by the sacred rites of magic. I charge thee to withdraw peaceably and quietly, and the peace of God be ever continued between thee and me. Amen. Extinguish candles. Remove the seal from the triangle and wrap it in green or black cloth. Close the circle by walking its boundary counterclockwise with a statement of return. Ground yourself. Eat, drink water, step outside. Primary sources for this working: the Ars Goetia from the Lesser Key of Solomon, Mathers and Crowley edition. 3 books of occult philosophy by Agrippa, particularly the sections on Venusian correspondences. The Picatrix for incense and planetary timing, the Book of the Sacred Magic of Abramelin, the Mage for the governing principles of will and intention. The Dictionnaire Infernal by Colin de Plancy for supplementary descriptions and historical context. All are available, and most are in the public domain. That is the working for Dantalion. The 71st Spirit of the Ars Goetia, Duke of 36 Legions, Reader of every mind and Changer of every will. Subscribe to Dark Cinema for more grimoire-accurate guides. Keep your circle closed, your will clear, and your intentions pure.